Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Amazonia from Stamperia. This is a design project for Scrap and Create, and you can get all your supplies there. I'll have a link down below, as well as a link to the cutting guide for this project. So I am working on the cover, and I figured I would come on and normally I don't do the covers on camera because I have separate videos for that. And I do have separate video for the technique, but I just wanted to show you what I'm doing. When we started, I showed you that I had that packet with the leather paper from Stamperia, and I hadn't opened it. So I just wanted to show you. It comes with two pieces. This one, which is sort of looks like cowhide leather in a lighter brown. This is the paper that I used on the spine of my Sir and Lady Vagabond album. And then they are, what are they called? Just artisan paper, leather paper. And then this one is a darker brown. It's kind of shiny, and it looks like alligator or crocodile. And I'm going to use this one for this album. I think it suits it. So let me set this one aside. Oops. Now, the label on this is down here, which leads me to believe that it's supposed to go this way, but I like it better this way, I think. So I'm going to use it this way. And I ran into an issue with my covers in that I did not have enough score tape to use score tape, and I had to use wet glue. So as you can see, they're a little bent, but they will flatten out, especially as I do other things, and I'll leave them under a weight overnight, I think, to flatten out. They are dry. I dried them under a couple of books, but they're still bowed because I had to use liquid glue. Ugh. Anyway, okay, so what I have determined, we have, if you know from your cutting guide, we have 2.5 inch spine. So what I need for this book is 2.5 inches for the spine, and then I like 1/4 inch on either side of the spine. So 2/4 is a half, right? So 2.5 plus my 1/4 and 1/4, that's 3 inches. Now, then I have to decide how much of this leather do I want showing on the front and back of the book. Now, there's going to be a lot of embellishment on the front particularly, but I really want quite a bit of this to show. Normally I do about 2 inches, but this is a big book, and I want this paper to show, and I'm dithering between 2.5 and 3 inches. I think I'm going to go with, what am I going to go with? 3 or 2.5? We could split the difference, make it 2 3/4. Let's do that, 2 3/4. Okay. So if that's going to be 2 3/4, I've already got 3 inches here, and then I need 2 3/4 twice. So that's going to give me 5 1/4, right? 2 3/4. No, I don't know. What is that going to give me? 4, 5.5. Okay, so 5.5 plus 3 is 8.5. So I need a piece 8.5 inches wide by the full height of this paper. Okay. Ideally, we'd have a little more height to work with, but because this is so tall, we really only have a 1/2 inch top and bottom to wrap our covers. So let me put those over there. Might as well put the books on them. See if I can flatten them out a little bit while we're working. Okay. So what I need to do is center this on this piece. So what I need is to come in 2 3/4. And just make a line 2 3/4. Where am I? Just can't even see, but we will try. Okay. So I'm making my line at 2 3/4. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Wind's picking up. I bought some weather stripping for this big sliding door that always makes so much noise, but I haven't been able to figure out exactly where on the door to put it to tone down the noise. There's that. Then I want to put a mark at 1/2 inch, top and bottom, because I don't have a lot of extra room to play with, as I mentioned, so I just need to make sure that I'm getting things just about where they need to be. Okay. So my spine is going to fit in here with a 1/4 inch on either side. So now I need my 1/4 inch score tape, which I've had right at my elbow for a week. Now I don't see it. Oh, there it is. It's underneath my computer. Okay. And we don't want this tape to extend beyond that line that we just made. It can actually be a little short. It's fine. You just want to run this right along that line, just to the inside of the line. Again, it's a little short, but that's fine. This is just a guide. If you want to just draw a 1/4 inch line while you're drawing all the other lines, you could do that too. Probably should have. Didn't even occur to me until this very moment, especially because I cannot see the line. Okay, that's about right. That. This should fit right between, and it does. That's good. Okay. So let me go ahead and put tape on that. And I think, before I do that, let me think about this for a minute. I think we should put some on this side as well, because we're going to do that lay flat spine. So let's do that, and I have the piece left over. So I think we should just use this piece that's left over to wrap this piece and then put it down. And I tried getting this off, but it didn't want to come off, and I'm afraid it's going to damage the paper if I try. I'll try again. Oh, okay, it's coming from this side a little bit. I don't really care so much about the middle of the paper, but here where I need to bend it, I would like it gone. But I don't think it's going to come up. I wish they hadn't stuck this on here. And I'm not sure how undo would affect this paper, so I'd rather not use it if I could help it. Thanks. Okay. That's fine. That's off the whole area where I need it, except for right here. I'm just going to leave it. I'm afraid I'm going to damage it if I try anymore. Okay, let's put tape on here. And let me straighten that piece up. This does not have to hold any weight, and it's not even going to be particularly visible. So you don't have to put tape on every single millimeter of this thing. I'm just going to put 4 or 5 pieces. If you have wider, that would be better, but I don't. I didn't realize I was getting quite so short on score tape, which is annoying because I just placed an order for some things. I would have ordered some. Going to make a mark at the 1/2 inch so I know where to put it, give or take. This doesn't matter. I mean, if it's a little off, as long as you can wrap it, it's fine. Hit my camera, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't make you seasick. And by camera, I mean phone. I don't actually own a camera. Well, I own a camera, but it doesn't take video, so. Okay. And I'm just going to pre-fold. And I'm going to trim the corners. You want to leave a little bit about the height of your chipboard of paper there. Okay. And use 3/8. Cut an angle on that. I need to cut it quite that far up, but okay. Got a piece of tape stuck to my finger. Okay. Be careful when you're taping these long pieces. You don't want to stretch your tape. It'll, oops, I missed a little there. Yeah, if you stretch your tape, it'll cause you problems. Namely warping, which I've already got going on my cover, so. But I had the same thing with, I can't remember which, another one of my covers, and it flattened out. Okay, that's not perfect, just not bad. Okay, let's go ahead, don't forget to burnish down your tape. And we're going to do one long side first. Okay. the other long side. I know this probably seems like a lot of trouble for something that's not really going to show, but it is going to show because this is a big book. Somebody could look down that spine and see it. And then do the end. And then we're going to do the other end. Whoops. Forgot to fold in my corners. See how I've got a little point sticking out? It's because I didn't fold that in. It's okay. Put that at the bottom. Okay, and that one's popping out on me a little bit. There we go. Much neater. Okay. All right. Now we need to take this and put it here like this. Okay. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we could have wrapped this without doing the top and bottom because that's going to fold over it anyway. Oh well. What's done is done. I've got way too many of these tape pieces. I need to get rid of these. And where did my tape tear go? It's under here. And this is the same situation. This is not bearing the weight of the book. So you can leave a little gap between your tape pieces if you want. Or ideally, you've got a wide piece and you're just going to use one piece, but I do not right now. And you know what? I'm going to use, even though I don't need to put it down fully, I think I'm going to use 2/4 there. I think I'll get better coverage. Okay, there we go. And burnish those. Clean up a little bit of this. Okay. Now we want to put this here. And I'm just taking all of this off. Okay, and then this is going, okay, I just want to make sure I'm straight. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, now we have to take our poor little warped covers. I'd be panicking over this, except that I've done it before and I know they do flatten out, so. This is what I wish I had, some wider score tape. All right, so what we need to do, we'll do them one at a time. What we need to do is put these down. The same line is where we put the spine. And I like to use a ruler just to make sure they're even, like that. Okay, and we're putting the right side on the wrong side, if that makes sense. So what we're going to do is, where's my tape? So one side is raw, that's this side, that's the side that's going here. I think I had it backwards. This side is to the outside. So we need to put tape here. Okay, so we're going to put one piece of tape here. Just help us get everything lined up. That. Okay. And then we need to have tape here, and you don't want to go past the top and bottom lines. Just make sure you're as close to that edge as you can get. I'm a little in, but and if you've got some 1 or 2 inch wide or score sheets, that would be ideal, but I do not. Things over here. All right, I think I didn't put my tape down very straight. And then I'm going to put for the last piece, that's not quite going to fit, so I'm going to use a quarter there. And remember, we've got a piece on the actual cover that will take care of that. Okay. Finish all that. Okay, and now we are going to lift. I don't know where I've got a tool to help me lift that, but I have no idea what I did with it. If you could see the pile of stuff off to the side. I always start with a nice neat work area, then as I go through a project, the mess piles up. There we go. Those. And then we have the one that's on here. Okay, now we'll take your ruler. Hope you can see this. Lift it up a little. Okay, so I'm putting my ruler here. I'm going to use that as my guide for laying this down. if the little line that you drew down there is a little off, go with where your ruler is, because you're laying the ruler right up against the spine, and you want your piece, front or back, whichever it is, to be straight to that. Let's see, I've got that. And you'll try to line it up with the edge of the tape, whoops, as well. Looks good. Over. And I do with my bone folder. Oh my goodness, there it is. And I kind of feel like this would have looked maybe better with like a craft or something like that, but most of this is not going to show, so I'm just going with what I've been using. Okay, so now we're going to repeat the process on the other side. Against the base of both of these so that I can be sure this one lines up. Just trying to be careful not to put this down before I want to. Yeah, it'll be fine, because we're going to have to lift this up when we put in the hinge, because we don't want the white showing, even though it's only a guide. And look at that. That's not very straight right there. Hang on. Look at how narrow that is. Okay, hang on. I'm going to lift that up and fix it. I don't know. I'm just kind of pulling it out a little. That's probably the best I'm going to be able to do, which I didn't get it very much. Well, it should be fine. And, all right, I'm just going to let that dry. All right, I'm going to turn it around while that's drying. Well, it looks like it's spilled all the way down there, but that won't take long. Let's go ahead and wrap. Just giving it a dry. This needs to wrap up and over, and it's going to be tricky because we've only got a little bit to play with. And I want to pull these up now so that I can. This one may be stuck underneath. I may have a hard time getting that one up. Okay, there we go. Got those. I think that actually pulled the tape up, which I don't really mind because I don't need the tape. I really only needed the guide. Could pull some of that. I don't want to damage the paper though. Yeah, I'm going to leave that. Okay, there. It's fine. Okay, so what we need to do is wrap this over, and I am just going to use 3/8 inch tape. Where's my tape here? I'm going to try to avoid the this area. think the easiest way to do that is going to be to lift it a little bit first. Okay, go. And burnish that really well because there's just not that much there, so I'm going to make sure it stays stuck. Okay, that's good. Same on the other side, which still feels a little damp, but I think it's okay. Got to figure out that weather stripping situation so we don't have to listen to howling winds all the time. I live not too far from the ocean, so I get ocean breezes. There we go. Over. Okay, yeah, you can definitely see where I had this one a little crooked. It's okay, it'll be fine. Alright, that looks good. And I'm going to turn it over and just give it a little bit of a burnish here. So get a nice sharp corner for our cover. I'm going to do the same on this one. Just turning it. Okay. That's nice. I am happy with that. That is huge. Okay. There. I am going to, what time is it? Okay, I'm going to stop. I'll be back in a few seconds. It'll probably be tomorrow for me, but a few seconds for you. And we'll go ahead and get our hinge done. I didn't talk about, we had that one page we hadn't done yet. And I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to do with that, so we'll do that as well. So I'll be back, like I said, in a few seconds. It might even be tonight. I don't know if I feel like it. We'll do our hinge and whatever we're going to do with that last page. Okay? I am back, and we did our cover, so I've just got my hinge. Just follow the measurements in my video on how to make hinges to get to this point. And we are going to do the same lay flat hinge binding that I've been doing lately, which means this part of the hinge is not going to be attached to the book, so it needs a little extra support. And I have been using Tyvek. What I did this time, I'm going to use a paper to line it because this is such a big book, I think it might be visible. And what I did is I just put some, this is actually book cloth, but you could use any thin cloth, a ribbon, Tyvek if you have it. Any of those things would be just fine for that. And so let me go ahead and put a 1/4 inch tape. And I don't think, let me just double check if 3/8 is 3/8. Yeah, 3/8 will fit. I'm going to use 3/8. So I'm going to put, and actually I'm wondering if I want to do this at this point because I need to attach. I'm I'm going to do a little piping edge like we did on Passion. And I wonder if I want to do that now and then add that tape. Probably that is what I want to do. No, I think, never mind. I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll show you why in a minute. Now this tape that we're putting down now is just to hold this liner piece on. And then these parts here are what are going to get attached to the book. Sorry, drew a blank there for a second. That's what I was talking about. And let's see, how wide is this? Can I go with that same width out here? Okay. And I'm doing this because I don't want to put tape in the actual seams of the hinges. It'll make the hinge more stiff if you do that. There is that. And, all right, piping. What did I do with my piping? That I literally just had it in my hand. Did you all see? Did I drop it? What did I do with it? I did drop it. Okay. All right. So this is a hot mess, but it'll be just fine because you're only going to see the top of it. What you want to do is either buy some piping that matches your book, or I just took some twine and some ribbon that I had, wrapped it around and glued it with Fabri-Tac, which, like I said, is kind of a hot mess, but that is okay because very little of it's actually going to be seen. So what I want to do is put this on so that only the corded part is sticking up above the binding. And I'll just attach it if I have enough, because I didn't bring the tape all the way to the edge, but that's okay. So first I want to cut, actually, I think I need to cut my lengths. And since I use twine, I'm okay if a little bit of it shows, but I'm just going to put a little glue on the end. This is a bias cut ribbon, so it's not going to fray. Okay, probably need to wait a minute for that to dry. Okay, and then let's see, I need the other, I'm going to cut it just a little long. I can always trim it down if I need to. I think that's probably just about right, and I'm going to put some glue on the other end. Go. Okay. And I'm just going to peel these back. And you probably want to put your tape closer to the end than I did on mine, because I was thinking I was going to attach adhesive for this, but I don't really have to. But you know what? I'll just put a little drop on each. Sorry, I had to pick that up to do that. So I've just sort of stuck that down, and then I have a little bit here on this end that I think I want to trim off. It's just a tiny bit long. Maybe. Maybe it's good. Yeah, I think I'm going to trim that. Okay. Go. Alright. And since I cut it, I'm going to give it a little dash of glue. Okay. And I'm sure there are neater ways to do this, but that's how I'm doing it. Okay. And I'm just going to do the same thing on the other one, but I don't think I'm going to need the glue because I put the tape up further on this end. Length. And I'm just sort of gradually going across. I know you probably can't see. And just lining up the piping part of the piping right along the top edge. It's not too neat because I wasn't holding it near me, so let me just see if I can get it reasonably neat. It's going to be down in the book, so it's not super visible, but it's just a nice little touch, so you can skip it if you want. You don't have to do this. Okay, and let me add a little bit of glue to the ends of those. And you can buy this book piping too. And I have some, but the colors that I have are not good for this book. Okay, there's that. So now, what we have to do is attach this to this. And we need some adhesive here. And normally I don't like to go across those you know, this, what would you call it, the joint of the hinges. However, in this case, we already have that fabric there. So I am just going to run a piece of 1/4 inch, tape across. It doesn't want to tear because it's soft. Let me just get that. I'm going to do the same on this end. Dropped my hinge. Or not my hinge, but my lining. Okay. So this is going to go right here. Okay. And I think I'm just going to take, I'm trying to decide if I want to take all of these off at once and just put it down. Well, kind of almost stuck it down already. Okay. So all these. Okay. And then we're going to put this down. Try and get it flat if you can. And keep that. There. centered as best you can. And I'm going to trim a little extra bit of fabric from there. And there we go. Pick up these before the cat gets them. Alright, I don't know if that's the neatest job I've ever done, but we'll pick out the neatest side and make that the top. Doesn't look bad though. Not bad at all. Alright. And I'm just making sure these stay nice and flexible. Curve if it wants to, which it should at some point. Okay, now let's get our cover. And I think that's the neater side, so we're going to make that the top. These standing upright to make it easier to see where the center is. It looks, I'm just gonna have to go further up. Tricky thing that we have here is because we had so little length on our paper that this is just barely covering that edge. But when we mat the page, it'll come up. So even if you're slightly off, it'll be okay. Just make sure you're, well, you know, this is fully wrapped, so you're fine. That's going to be, looks pretty good. It's so tall that I can't really tell. I've got it centered at the bottom, but I can't tell if it's centered at the top. So I think what I'm going to do, just to make my life a little easier, is I am going to make a mark right there. And where's my ruler? Let's measure. That is just what it, 1.5. Let's call it 1.5. It's a hair. It's between 1 7/16 and 1.5. Call it 1 7/16. Let's go up here. Go to 1 and not 7/16, 15/16. Put a mark there. And let's join them. Where'd my mark go? That doesn't seem right. Hang on. I was right the first time. 1 7/16. Good heavens. Okay. Right there. Okay. So now I can be fairly sure it's straight top to bottom. Good. Okay. Now, these scissors get so gummed up. Straighten that. And we are going to put the tape on here. see, I have been leaving a little bit of a gap here. I'm trying to decide if I want to do that. I don't think I will. I wasn't thrilled with the way the last hinge sat, so I think I'm gonna do that one there, but I don't know. I'm just gonna go to where the wrap ends, because I don't want it to show at all. Okay. I think I can put 2 more pieces. This is 3/8 inch score tape. And I'm going to put 3 pieces on each side. So you can kind of judge how you want to do it. I always used to do this part first because I don't like this part. I don't particularly enjoy doing the cover in the hinges, but lately I've taken to doing it last, mostly because sometimes I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do things till I get to this point. But I used to do it first, like I said, to get it out of the way because I didn't like it. I've gotten faster at it over the years, though. So. Okay, there's that. And then this one. Hang on. I'm just neatening up that edge. I don't know why I've got like a ripple on one of those fins. I might have stretched my tape or something at some point. Okay, so we burnish this down, burnish this, burnish this. Okay. I just want to double check which side is neater. They're actually both pretty good. Doesn't really matter. All right. So we're going to put this right there. Try to decide how to do it. Yes, just come here. In the middle here, I mean, it has to look as perfect as you can make it because that's going to be seen. Out here, it's not. It's going to be covered by mats and whatnot. it. And there. Okay. And oh yeah, that's coming up. See that nice curve as I lift the cover? Nice. My last album, I didn't feel like I got a good curve. I'm much happier with that. Good. Looks good. Yep, see that? Okay. I don't know if you can see it. It's very dark. But I am happy. I am happy with that. Okay, it's a lot of fuss and nonsense, but it's worth it in the end. Now, shall we go ahead and put our pages in? Might as well, huh? Okay. Now, that last page, the one that we hadn't done anything with, I finally made up my mind. I am going to, okay, I'm going to leave it as is. We're going to do a floating element, which is an element that you can lift off the page. I think just a really super fancy tag or something like that. We haven't done one like that in a while, and I think that's what I want to do. So let's do a test fit. Okay, feeling a little tight. I might need to trim my corners. It's fine. That looks good. I am so happy with how this is coming out. Oh, you know what? I'm going to need my little tool that I've lost so I can get the back of the tape off. Alright, so I'm putting these, as always, not quite to the bottom so that they lie nice and flat. That tool. I mean, I can use my tweezers if I don't find it, but I feel like maybe it's slid up under my board. This board weighs a ton, so I don't know. Did I put it away? I can't imagine I put it away. I don't know. I don't see it. Hopefully my tweezers will work, but of course now I don't even know what I did with those. So strange. I wonder if I haven't, you know what, I craft sometimes on the other side of the room. I might have put them over there. Alright, let's just use these. Okay. And then this one. There are a lot of things going on here, so make sure that when you put this on, it is not the wrong thing. You know, don't put it between the flaps or something. Use the side pocket opening. Again, we're checking for fit. Fit is good. Have it near me, which means if I can see it, you probably can. Okay, that's good. That's pretty good. Scissors definitely don't work as well as my usual tool. I'm gonna have to do a big cleanup and find it. It's probably on the floor. The cat was up here throwing things. Oh, I found it. I see it. And it was halfway on the floor. Okay, here we go. Alright, and then this one, we're going to do something about a closure on that because that keeps falling open. I have magnets. I received my magnets. Look at that. This collection is just spectacular. Oh, I see, because it's kind of bulky on the other side, so I gotta make sure I don't put this down too far. Okay. Nice. Okay. That, definitely have to put magnets there or something, but I think magnets. You know what we could have done, it's too late now because I already glued it down, but if you haven't glued yours down, you could put, it's hard to describe, but you could put a little tab of paper coming out here with a grommet in it and another one up here with a grommet, and then tie it. So you had twine or something there. That would be nice, but I didn't think of it. And honestly, I kind of like the clean look of it. Okay, this one has a lot of flaps. I need to make sure I am putting the correct section on the hinge. Just give that a press. Oh, you know what? We didn't mat the inside of that at all. Okay, so we need to go back and do that. I think we're in pretty good shape. And we're definitely not going to be able to do full mats on the side pocket inserts, but we'll be able to do borders with a solid of some kind. Awesome. Okay. So cool. All right, so we need a full mat here because with magnets, but we'll have to do that later once we determine exactly where the magnets need to go, but I'll cut the mat nevertheless. We need something there. Of course, we need to do all our stuff there. We need magnets here. And we need all the mats on the inside of this. Because none of that has mats. And then we need some here, and of course we need to do our cover. So I think, all right, I think I will stop here, call it a night, and I think that's good enough. So next time I will, between now and then, I have to decide what I'm going to use for the base of the cover and the back and the mats that we have left. Because there's quite a few big pieces we still have left, which is fine because we're just about to crack into the second 12 by 12, so we have enough. And we also have to decide on a closure, although it may not need a closure. I mean, you can see it's not super bulky at this point. So It might be fun to do like a twine, something like this. Something rough. I don't know. We'll play with it. We'll see. All right. That's it. Okay. Don't forget to visit Scrap and Create. This is a design project for Scrap and Create. You can get all your supplies there. There is a link down below for the cutting guide for this project. There is also a coupon code down below for one of these beautiful Glassboard Studios mats or any other product they sell. It's 20% off. And there is, did I say the cutting guide? Yeah, cutting guide, Scrap and Create, Glassboard Studio. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.